So anyway, yeah, he's gay. He's pretty gay. Or else why would he be acting like that about me? Listen, dudes do not normally talk about dudes' looks at all. All right? Urban style individual.
What's up with y'all? Hopefully this video finds you in good spirits, and if not, well, at least you not DSP. And once again, we have Phil offering us a confession by way of projection, because Phil doesn't have anybody around him to bounce his ideas or his theories off of. So oftentimes the only voice he's listening to is his own. And this is why we get these crazy scenarios like this. So let's get into the video.
LTG spent an hour obsessing over your physique. Yes, I mean, that's what homosexuals do. They obsess over the physical looks of the same gender.
Now, out the gate, this man outright called this other man a homosexual. Now, he doesn't have any real hard evidence for something like this. And now, in the real world, when you say these type of things to grown men, this generally comes with a problem, Phil. But I'm going to let him continue.
So, I mean, you're seeing a pattern here, right? You're starting to see a pattern here. I got guys trying to invite me to pay my way to fly me to Florida to hang out with them at a bar. And then I got a guy who just talks about my looks for an hour on his stream. You see the running pattern here, right?
Okay, so let's examine this. Would anybody on earth look at darksydephil and consider him attractive by any measure? Conventionally attractive, trendy attractive, or any quirky attractive? Nobody would look at you as anything that's attractive. So why would you think that these men are trying to get you to do certain things or are talking to you in a certain way because they are attracted to you? That makes no sense, because what about you would attract them? This is why I said he's offering us a projection, because deep down, I think Phil might be attracted to men. And real quick, when PPP offered him to come to that bar with Hulk Hogan or whatever it was, right? That was an opportunity for Phil to get out there, right? And mix and mingle a little bit, or at least be seen in a scenario that people are not accustomed to seeing him in. It would have probably won him some brownie points, right? Now, it probably wouldn't have did a whole lot long term, because Phil would have found a way to squander it, right? But we know what PPP was attempting to do. Now, when you segue over to LTG and the things that he's saying about Phil in terms of his looks, that has nothing to do with his attraction to you. It has everything to do with the culture that he came up in. When I was coming up, people talked about your lining, what kind of shoes you had on, how dirty you were, how big your lips were. I mean, nothing was off limits. And none of us was sitting around thinking, oh, he's only saying that because he likes me. Something's wrong with this dude.
This part is about that, is that he was on a stream and all people wanted him to do was watch the clip of me from Monday night's Truck Sim, where I was talking about how he tried to scam Kick. Kick caught his scam and said, well, we paid you all that money you scammed us out of. Now you owe it to us. So he has to work for Kick for months and earn no money. He's basically paying back money he stole. And as long as he does that, they will not prosecute him. So that's what he's doing right now. So that's the only clip. People say, oh, here's a clip. React to it. He starts reacting to it. Immediately, he starts talking about my hair, my looks. Everyone's like, what? No, we wanted you to react to the part about the Kick scam that he says. And he doesn't, like, he glosses over it. And when he then addresses it, he apparently changes his story from his original story of what he told like a month ago about it. So everyone's now like, yeah, he's lying for sure, because he's telling two different stories already. So obviously this is not correct. And really what's happened is he's tried to scam Kick. Kick caught him. And now he owes like $8,000 to Kick, and he has to stream for free on Kick. And any revenue he makes is going to this deficit that he owes them.
Sure. But my question is, why do you know so much about what's going on with him? According to you, you're super busy and you don't have time to do anything. Yet here you are rambling off again all the things that are going on with LTG in his daily life. Are you watching LTG detractor content, Phil? And if so, which one is your favorite channel? Now, you're describing the scenario between LTG and Kick, and what that's known is pro bono. Okay, that's not anything new. It happens quite often, actually, and it's a way for people to avoid prosecution. I mean, it just is what it is. Now, other thing that I wanted to touch on, because yes, I did see when DSP called LTG a slave. Yes, I saw that. But I also want to say this. I do think black people, quote unquote black people, because black is not a race, it's a color, need to stop associating the term black with the term slave. Those things are not synonymous at all, especially historically speaking. So when you go back and you understand where the word slave actually came from, when you go into etymology, you'll understand that that term came from the term Slav. Okay. Now I'll leave it up to y'all to go look up that word and you'll figure out, you know, you go down that rabbit hole and figure out what that actually means. All right. But a lot of times it's coming from a place of ignorance. So no, I'm not going to jump out the gate because he referred to LTG as a slave, because in this case, contextually, he kind of is.
Okay. So anyway, yeah, he basically is reacting to that clip and he just starts talking about everything about how I look. And everyone is like, what the fuck is like, what is going on with this guy? He is so obsessed with dude's looks. It makes no sense at all. Zero. Then he starts talking about playing me in Street Fighter. The clip had nothing to do with Street Fighter at all. Nothing. Zero. I wasn't talking about Street Fighter. So he's like, oh, this guy's obsessed with me to want to play me in Street Fighter. The clip has nothing to do with that. I'm not talking about that. He brings it up. Then he's like, oh, now he has to pay me $50,000 to play me in Street Fighter. No one said anything about Street Fighter.
Well, he knows that the whole reason why you have been a fly in the ointment to him is because you want to get him to play Street Fighter. So it would not be outside of the realm of possibility that you're also doing this to try to get him to play Street Fighter. This is not some crazy line of logic that you need a master's degree to figure out. This is very basic. You were antagonizing him to try to get him to do something. It did not work, so naturally you would continue to do that, right? Like, come on.
So you see what I'm saying? Like, this guy is so crazy obsessed about shit. So number one, he knows he can never beat me in Street Fighter. Therefore, he tries to make impossible qualifications for me to play him ever, right?
No, he just said it wasn't about Street Fighter. Then he goes on to say number one, and then he mentions Street Fighter, because deep down inside, Phil, we know this is what this is about. This is what this is about. And you feel like as long as LTG is underneath you, you won't be the lowcow's lowcow. You have to step on other people's shoulders to feel okay about yourself. And it's just a shame that you have to step on somebody like LTG to feel better about yourself, because that gives people insight into how low you actually are. So even though you're standing on his shoulders, you still can't see nothing because you're still too far in the damn hole.
Right? It gets worse. So first it was $5,000. Now it's $50,000. Now it's, you got to do 2 bench presses of 315 pounds and 2 squats of 315 pounds. None of this has to do with Street Fighter whatsoever, nor did I even bring up or challenge him in Street Fighter. But this is what he all says on his stream. So everyone's just left with their jaw dropped. Like, what just happened? Like, he got ultra triggered because Phil just brought up this whole kick thing, this kick scam that he tried to pull.
He's trying to make you jump through hoops. It's no different than when a girl or when a dude likes a girl, right? And if she really doesn't like you, she's going to make you jump through 1,000 hoops to get her attention, because there are no rules for the guys that they like. All right. Remember that. That's how that goes. So this tells you that LTG really doesn't have an interest in doing anything with you. But under the rare occasion or chance that you just happen to come up with all this money he's talking about on an off chance, he'll do it.
That's absolutely amazing. Like, he basically completely exposes himself publicly that he basically did it, or else why would he react like that?
So then why do you react the way you do daily? Are you saying that you did it, Phil? Now, we all know you did. And whatever it is, he did it. It's just funny that how he can see things in other people, but he can't see these things in himself.
So anyway, yeah, he's gay. He's pretty gay. Or else why would he be acting like that about me? Listen, dudes do not normally talk about dudes' looks at all. All right. There's a few exceptions. If a guy looks completely flamboyantly weird, he'll bring it. Oh man, that guy looks kind of weird. Right. Or if it's like a running joke, like I have a running joke about John Stamos. It's always been a running joke. I think I've brought that up since the beginning of my days making content, that John Stamos is the guy, the hot guy, right? Like that's the stereotypical hot guy that I bring up in my content. It's a joke. It's not real. It's just something that I bring up every once in a while, right?
That's not true at all. I don't care what he's talking about with regard to John Stamos. I'm talking about what he's talking about, what guys do with other guys. Phil, how would you know? Name some of your friends. Name other men that you talk to on the daily, just about everyday things, sports, life, whatever. Name a person that you just shooting shit with on a daily basis. You have no one. So how can you sit here on a public platform and tell us what it's like to be, what it's like when guys are interacting with each other? We absolutely do compliment each other. Now, we don't fawn in the same way that women do for each other. Oh, girl, you look amazing. And stuff. We don't do it to that extent, but we will be like, oh, bro, your haircut crispy. Who cut you up? Oh, them shoes hard. Where you get them from? So what you're talking about is absolutely untrue.
This guy seriously brings up dude looks all the time. Like, it's like every chance he gets, he's got to say that the guy looks like what does he call him? I don't even know what this means. This may be racially offensive or something. He calls him a squeegee. I don't know what that means. So if that's offensive, I apologize. I have no idea what that statement actually means. But he says this. He's like, oh, they're squeegees. What the fuck does that mean? I don't know. But then he immediately will go on a giant tirade about looks, about the guy doesn't work out. That's another thing he said. He actually said, just listen to this. This is a good one. I have stage fright walking into a gym.
And he's 100% correct. And you're going to see that Phil, this actually triggered Phil because deep down he is a coward. So when you tell the truth about him interacting with other men, especially in terms of something that could be perceived as a confrontation, you already know Phil is going to be completely out of his element when it comes to something like that. Phil, you do not want to be in the gym with other men that are working out and talking and shooting and shit. You'll have no idea what's going on at all. You'll be completely lost.
No, I have money so I can buy weights for my own home. I don't have to go to a gym. Like literally, what is a gym membership? $20 a month, something like that. So in a year, what's that? $240. I spent more than $240 just on the weights.
Yes, but everything is not about money. That's the part that you're always missing. Every time that you try to fucking create an argument, the first thing that you want to mention is money. Nobody's talking about money. Nobody said you were poor. People do things based on their preferences, and they do things based on how things align with what they already have going on. It might make more sense for somebody to work out at home based on their situation, or it might make more sense for somebody to go to the gym, or some people like going to the gym with, guess what, Phil? They're friends.
All right. I have money, so I can actually exercise from the comfort of my own home, which is better than going to the gym.
How is exercising from your home better than going to the gym? In what way? How? Because you're lazy? He thinks that people should view things this same way he does, because he views it as something that is inconvenient or out of the way. Other people are adventurous, Phil. You have people that are introverted, and you have people who are extroverted, other people actually seek out other people. Imagine that.
Right? You go to the gym if you're poor. If you need to do the stupid discounted $15 a month gym membership, and then you jump on the machine that smells like shit that everyone else exercised on, then you work out at the gym, right? Or if maybe if the gym is on the way home from your work, right? You have a commute and you're commuting back home and the gym's on the way. All right, this makes more sense for me to just stop and exercise on the way home. Okay.
Now, do you see how he caught himself? He knew that first line about you going to the gym because you poor, he even knew that was out of line. But that was Phil's subconscious mind pouring through, because in that moment he was upset. But then you see later on, he tried to clean it up almost immediately. His conscious mind kicked in, which is the filter for the subconscious mind. Then he said, oh, well, if you're coming from work, then it's not a big deal. No, Phil, how you initially thought is what you said the first time. You look down on people who do not make more money than you. And that's very obvious. And we've seen that riddled all throughout your content over the years.
But if you can afford a home gym, why would you not build your own home gym? Okay, spoiler alert, my dad used to be he tried to bodybuild. Now, he never went anywhere with it, but he was building up a weightlifter style body because he actually worked at a shipping company. Okay. And so he wanted to have muscles to use at his work. And he had a home gym. He's like, I want to go to the gym with everyone else working out. I want to be able to use my workout stuff whenever I want to. Okay. So why would you not want that? Why would you want to go to the gym? That's insane.
Going to the gym is insane. I mean, just listen to the stuff that this man says, and he really thinks he has a point, and he's going to double down and triple down. Now you see, like I said, he tried to clean it up a little bit. He tried to tell you a little story about his pops and how his pops used to go to work. Look, nobody cares about that. You already put your foot in your mouth. There's nothing insane about going to the gym. What's insane is your binary thought process and your inability to see other people's perspective. And this is why when you suffer, people don't have empathy for you, because you don't have empathy for anyone else. Anybody who does not align with you, you try to ostracize or put them in a box. And this is why you will always be in the box that you're in.
Like, LTG actually thinks I'm afraid to like exercise in front of other people. No, I'm not. I just don't want to give my detractors ammo, because you know that how fucked up they are, which is something he would understand too.
So then you are afraid to exercise in front of people then. I mean, how can you say that you're not afraid of that and then go on to mention your detractors? I mean, come on, that doesn't make sense.
But, why am I going to do it in public when I can easily do it at home and get the same exact workout? The other thing is, this is hilarious. He actually thinks I'm broke because he says my camera quality is bad. Does my camera quality look bad? You can see the fucking wrinkle lines on my forehead. You can see all the detail in my face, my beard. He says, why does he have a low definition camera? I don't. Hey, LTG, I don't. You're an idiot who watches detractor clips. The detractors rip my shit at low quality, and that's what you're watching, and you're so incredibly fucking stupid. You actually think you're watching my raw video at high quality. I stream at 1440p.
No, I don't think that he's watching detractor content and he think that's a reflection of your resolution quality, Phil. I just think he hasn't watched you in a very long time. It's in the last time he did watch you, your camera quality was terrible. I think that's what happened. He is not watching you nearly as much as you are watching him. I guarantee if you ask LTG what's been going on with Phil in the last week, he couldn't tell you anything. But if you ask Phil what's going on with LTG, he's going to give you dollar amount and timetables and who his baby mama is and all this other nonsense. Phil, you all about the drama, bruh.
I'm higher quality than most people who stream right now. Your camera actually looks way worse than mine because I've seen your raw quality and it's ass. He also made fun of my setup back here. He made fun of the setup and he goes, what's all that shit behind him? Like, yeah, you want to know what this is called? It's called a set. Because I have a studio that I broadcast from to make entertaining content for my audience. Do you want to know what he broadcasts from?
He said, why is all that behind you? Because it's not adding anything to the stream. He's not picking on the individual items as if something is wrong with the item itself. He's saying you're doing all that, but it's still not bringing any real quality or real value to your streams. So why do it to begin with? That's what he's saying. My goodness.
It looks like the spare bedroom at his grandma's house. He has nothing behind him but a cat tree that every once in a while his cat's in. All his walls are completely blank, white. Nothing visually appealing whatsoever. I think he thinks he's the visual appealing thing. He's not. I hate to tell him this. He's not too visually appealing anymore, especially now he's getting up there in age like me.
Wait, so who are you as another man to say if another man is visually appealing or not? Because at the beginning of this video, you said that men who talk about other men's appearances are quote unquote gay. Ain't that what you said? So why are you now talking about how visually appealing he is or is not? This is what I mean when he always put his foot in his mouth. Furthermore, why are you talking about what's on his walls? Who is coming to somebody's stream to see what's on the wall behind them? No one. People are coming to the stream to look at who is sitting in that chair. And of course, they're going to tune in because they're interested in the things that they're doing. But the primary thing is the person. It's the personality. All right. It has nothing to do with the trinkets behind you.
He's not that visually appealing anymore. He's got nothing to look at on his stream at all. It's empty. It's an empty fucking bedroom. Like I've said before, it looks like at any moment his grandmama is going to knock on the door and say, hey, take out the trash, bitch. Like at any moment.
Is that how you think that urban style individuals' grandmothers talk to us? Is that what you gleaned and gathered from watching BET in the early 2000s, brother? No, our grandmothers do not speak like that. Our grandmothers generally have a level of grace to them. Okay. They also have a high level of respect. So you need to watch your damn mouth. You really do, because you're speaking on things that you have no real understanding of. And that's why I said this is a cultural thing. This is why Phil's having so many issues translating what LTG is saying. When we were coming up, it was vicious, bro. It was nothing for somebody to talk about your mama. Nothing. On everything. I mean, we could be walking to the park or walking to the corner store, and out of nowhere, one of your homeboys would be like, whoever don't get to that pole first, they mama a crackhead. And we'll all just take off running, defending our mother's honor. It was brutal back in those days, man. Good times.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck is he talking about? Nothing. And then he says, here's the best part. He says, I'm broke. You know what he said? He said, there's no way that he could even make like, what did he say? Like $5,000 all year on Kick? This guy literally lives in an alternate fucking reality. Should I really tell him? Should I tell him how much? See, because here's the thing, and here's what LTG doesn't understand. My contributions are real. So every time that you see someone drop some subs, drop some kicks, whatever it is, it's real. It's not like his 3,900 subs that he has on his screen that most are fake. It's all things he gifted himself, or they're fucking Argentinian or whatever the hell. They're all fake.
And how do you know they're fake? You keep making statements without qualifying them. Okay? You have accusatory language, but you're not coming with evidence, which just makes you a loudmouth. And this is why people don't believe the things that you say. This is you speculating about what's going on his streams. And I think you're doing that because in your mind, that really hurts you to see that LTG has that many subs. Now, I don't know if they're fake or not, but I guarantee you, if you can have that many subs, you would, right? So this is really what this is coming from, because we know Phil is synonymous with begging. He's always begging for money. Now, I don't know much about LTG, but from what I've gathered, he's not necessarily known for begging for money. So he does have one up on you on that, because nobody respects a beggar. Nobody.
So the reason that the guy is a bum and he's broke and he's streaming from an empty room is because he has no money. The reason he has to go to the gym every day is because he has no money to get a home gym. He has no money for anything. He's paying child support and he's barely making by, scraping by. He owes $8,000 to Kick for the scam he pulled. So he's in debt there. He's trying to earn back. He's broke. And then he has the audacity to say to me that I don't make money. I make more money than LTG. What a shock, because my income is real. But this is things that he'll never understand because his little pea-sized walnut brain would never comprehend reality. He lives in this fantasy world where he is the center of everything. The world revolves around him. And he is the center, end all be all. He literally pays no attention to me, but then he tries to talk shit. He has no idea what he's talking about. He has a far worse setup, a far worse set, way less money, way more debt. He's fucked.
Now, you see all the superficial things that he listed. None of those things are going to make you whole or make you feel like you accomplished anything at all. And this is why I feel no matter how much money you make or how many toys you have behind you, you will always be a hollow husk of a man on stream begging for money every day. And you will always come off as soulless, because you are. Nothing about you is redeemable. Nothing about you should be replicated or emulated in any way. There's not one single thing that somebody can point to and say, he's good at that. Not even talking shit. And it's obvious to people who do it, because when LTG is talking to you, this is very much the spirit of us, quote unquote, cracking on each other. That's what we used to call it back in the day. And it was off the time a bunch of surface level stuff. But you're so insecure. Look how personal you took everything. LTG is the reason why you changed up your shirt game, right? Now you start coming in with the collar shirts and the button ups, right? LTG is the reason why you started working out. So what you should be doing at LTG is saying thank you.
So, I'll call him Burt Reynolds and, say that he's ugly or whatever. Well, you know what? Maybe I am, but you know what? I'm way better off than that motherfucker. Because the truth is, I've said this before and I'll say it again, LTG is the lolcow's lolcow. Like, there are people who are lolcows, but what they do is when they want to have a good day, they turn on an LTG stream, or not even, they turn on an LTG detractor video, and they have a good laugh.
So Phil just told us what he does. He just say he's a lolcow. And when he's having a bad day, or when people are having a bad day, they turn on LTG detractor content, which is exactly what he's doing. This is why he knows so much about him. Phil has crossed over into obsession with this man. He doesn't understand why this man would not give him his undivided attention, because Phil believes these two are on the same level. So in his mind, LTG not coming to him is LTG basically sticking it to him and acting like he's better than him. And that's really why Phil is offended, because in his mind, he's far above LTG.
They say, hey, my life's fucked up, but at least I ain't this fucking loser. Like, holy shit, dude. Anyway, let's get set up for Silent Hill, shall we? Now, that's going to be clipped to high heaven. That's going to be sent to him. I can't wait to see the next react he does. I can't wait to see. Because he doesn't understand, this is comedy gold to me, too. I'm laughing my ass off. The last 2 days, all of LTG's detractor videos were me in the thumbnail either flexing like this or my O face, and LTG reacting, crying and screaming.
And there you go. That's where a lot of this newfound bravado towards LTG is coming from, because a lot of LTG detractors, because they hate LTG so much, are saying to Phil, yeah, Phil, you might have done this, you might have done that, but you ain't no LTG. He's far worse. And let me say this too, because last time I did a video about LTG, some of his detractors came in here and was talking crazy. Look, I don't know about LTG and I don't care. So I don't care about what you're talking about at all. You got your guy, I got mine. And let's just keep it moving. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Urban style content. I'm dead.